Representative Ilhan Omar is someone who is constantly targeted by the right wing for all sorts of disingenuous reasons. And the recent example really takes the cake. Since Donald Trump decided that it would be a great idea to escalate tensions with Iran, possibly to the point of war, Ilhan Omar had a personal reaction to it, considering the fact that she had to flee a war-torn country when she was 8 years old, Somalia, and then live in a refugee camp for 4 years. And so she wanted to share her perspective, her thoughts on what's been going on. And here's what she had to say.
I feel ill a little bit because of everything that is taking place. And I think every time I hear of conversations around war, I find myself being stricken with PTSD.
So I knew about her history and what she had to go through as a child. And of course, if you just stop and think about it, it's clear that someone would suffer from PTSD, fleeing a war-torn country, living in a refugee camp for 4 years. But I'd never really thought of it, I didn't really acknowledge it. And so this is something that she's been struggling with ever since she was a child. And so she shared a part of her life. She was vulnerable with people and sharing that part of her life. And what ends up happening? Well, she gets attacked by the right wing. For no real reason, just to attack her because they can't stand her. She also wrote on Twitter, "War doesn't have a reset button. I learned this lesson at the age of 8. Lives will be lost, many innocent lives will be lost, and the future of generations will be impacted. Let's call for peace." Wow, she seems like a very controversial figure, right?
Bloodthirsty.
So Representative Jim Banks went after her and said the following: Representative Ilhan Omar complains she's stricken with PTSD because of recent events in the Middle East. This is a disgrace and offensive to our nation's veterans who really do have PTSD after putting their life on the line to keep America safe. So first off, I want to make one thing clear before we defend Ilhan Omar and go after Representative Banks. Republicans are the ones who consistently put our troops in harm's way, not to keep America safe. Don't buy into that narrative. We know that that's not true, but specifically to make military contractors wealthy. That's all it's about. Do you feel safer today? I mean, we have gone into various countries, either overthrown democratically elected leaders for our own business interests, or done regime change wars that have destabilized entire regions of this world. Did that keep this country safe? No. Did that lead to more peace around the world? Of course not. What did it do? It ruined the lives of countless troops who have emotional scars, who have physical disabilities as a result of what happened to them, or in many cases lost their own lives. For what? To make military contractors wealthy. That's what this is about. So his nonsense and his fake concern about the troops is so infuriating, because if he cared about the troops, he would have spoken out against what Donald Trump did, because that makes our troops less safe abroad. That means that they could be targeted, right? They could be targeted, they could lose their lives, and that includes military personnel, that includes ambassadors, that includes people working at embassies. Those people don't really matter to these Republican lawmakers, but they'll continuously argue that they're the patriotic ones who support the troops. You care about the troops, get them home.
Well, that was amazing, especially considering I was coughing throughout it. So great job there.
I know what I said was very touching.
It was. Sorry, I'm very sick and I could not control it. But I will say the experience of watching the reaction to what Ilhan Omar has said, it really makes me worried. My upcoming article in The Hill, assuming it gets published, is Trump says he wants to de-escalate, but will his base let him? And regardless of one or two potential explanations for the response to her, it makes me really worried, because all she's saying in that address is, I don't want war with Iran. And if you believe Donald Trump, he says that's the same thing he wants. So why are they attacking her so viciously? I think it represents that they don't actually believe Trump. They think that he will eventually get around to some sort of conflict, and that's why they can't accept her anti-war position. Or it could just be that regardless of what she's saying, they're so Islamophobic that they can't take it coming out of her in particular.
100%.
And when it comes to the future of our conflict with Iran, that worries me too.
Ilhan Omar, I mean, if you pay attention to her commentary in regard to our foreign policy, what we have done to Muslim majority countries. I mean, she represents everything that Republicans fear because she's accurately and consistently calling them out for their war crimes, for their support of war crimes. And they can't stand hearing it from a woman, much less a Muslim woman.
Definitely.
So I think that's really part of it. Anything she said, it doesn't matter what she tweets. She could tweet peace and love to all, including my Republican colleagues. And you will see a long list of responses from the most disgusting people in this country who just hate her because of who she is, because of her identity.
Yeah.
So the very people who claim that they can't stand identity politics are the ones who utilize identity to make decisions about whether or not they like someone.
Yeah, and it's amazing how someone's life story can be interpreted so differently by different people that I see the experience she went through and I can't imagine how you could possibly have accomplished what she did. I know that I would not have been able to do that. But they see it and they see it as a threat. That if she was able to do that, maybe other people will too. Maybe other immigrants will come in and reach positions of power and authority in America. I would say based on their ability to communicate, their ability to have compassion for their constituents, all of that. That's how you become a political leader in the way that she has. But they don't want them because of where they come from. They fear what they represent.
John, I think I want to go to break so you can,
Thank you.
regroup. And look, I know I'm a great speaker, and I can really cut to the core of you. So let's allow him to kind of gather his thoughts and get back together, and then we'll come back and do some more news for you.
I hate you.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.